Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday the 21st of October 2019. And again, another major arcana card. We've been having a few of them for the last few weeks, and it's card 9, the Hermit. Now if you look at it in Rorig, it's just a beautiful card. We've got the man's face with a kind of grid over it, deep thinking eyes, and the sort of universe where his head should be, really. And it's one of my favourite cards. But it can be misconstrued at times, and sometimes it can be used by spiritual people on a quest to kind of make things right for them. And I'll explain that in the spiritual part of this. But the Hermit. The Hermit is in his wee cave up in the mountain, or underground, or whatever way the cultural hermit goes of different societies. The one thing is he's alone, and in that alone time he's taking time to go within, to think on things, to examine who he is, where he's been, where he's going. And that is the major aspect of this card for the general public. And if we look at it with countries and with the world, I think this is a very, very good card to have out. Now the reason for that is the place has been so stressed. I'm not saying that this card should involve everybody pulling back, because it shouldn't. We need the marchers, we need the people that are out there showing governments all over the world that there needs to be a new way. And those people will still be at the forefront. But there's an awful lot more people that maybe need to be quiet, thoughtful, and think about the longer term as well. And this card is bringing out a lot of inspiration and potential in people maybe coming up through the ranks, people that may have been kind of on the side, or kind of not really noticed because of their quietness, and because they were maybe a wee bit insular. So in general, we should see it's not the shouters that will make the long-term difference in the week ahead with the Hermit card. It's the people that are sitting and thinking and mulling over everything. So yes, there will still be a lot of noise out there, there'll still be a lot of passion, there'll be stress, so you know what to do. Empaths, you need to be careful, and you can use a little bit of this card, but not necessarily all of it, right? Because again, we need to talk about this one spiritually. So in general, there'll be the thinkers and the doers, and wherever you are in your life at the moment, it's important that you align yourself to what you feel. You can be a thinker but still be a doer this week. You can be a doer that becomes a thinker this week. You can do it both. But what I'm trying to say is that there's more of a push for longer term substance and substantial thinking with this card. The people that are on marches and whatever won't just be, on the sidelines sort of grabbing a flag and getting out there. They'll have a belief that's come through, something they're supporting, and they're willing to march or get themselves in front of TV cameras for. So there's a depth to this card, and whatever way you approach it will come from deep thought, and also a greater understanding of yourself. And with politicians, etc., we might see them be a wee bit quieter. Maybe they've been in people's faces or whatever. I mean, there's a few that won't be quiet in any way because they just can't. But it's a time where politicians, where people that have a lot of influence in the world, should be sitting and thinking deeply about where we go from here and how they can move forward as their authentic selves. And that's what this card's about as well. It's about finding who you are within yourself, your authentic self. So anyway, it's a difficult one to explain, particularly the sort of bonkers way I explain things, but it's a time where there'll be more substantial, deep thought behind decisions, which would be helpful at times. So anyway, what does it mean for you if you're in career aspect? If you're needing to be the hermit this week, you could find that work becomes just a place that you're just doing what you do, and then you're feeling the need to pull in. If you can, have a wee break or a holiday this week to give yourself that space and time, particularly if it's for feeling mentally fragile, then book a few holiday days or a duvet day or whatever, because it would be a good time to do it. The Hermit card can make us feel as though the only way to get away from stress is to isolate ourselves, and sometimes that's what's necessary. So in work, you could find that you're not working great as a part of a team. And if so, then do your best on your own, but also know your limitations this week. And if you need to be the hermit, you need some time off, or you need some time to think about where you are, etc., then make sure that if you can't do that within the workplace, find time to do it when you're at home, and you can sit quietly and really think on things. It's not a card that necessarily brings new jobs, new opportunities. It's an understanding of where you are now, who you've been and who you want to be, and how to be authentic. So if you're in a career that you don't like, you don't enjoy, and it's doing nothing for you, there might be very unsettled thoughts come through with this card in the week ahead. So what about health? With health, this, when it comes out, particularly when there's mental health stress about, is the need to go within, the need to pull barriers up and isolate yourself from external stress. And that's the first thing about this card. If you need to say no to events, to family things, to things that you've even said yes to, then the Hermit gives you the permission to do that, so that you can then go within and sort yourself first. The Hermit gives a green light, not to be selfish as such, but to be self-aware enough to know when doing something and being surrounded by people or a lot of stress would actually be detrimental to even the event, because you wouldn't give your all at it, or you could end up having a temper tantrum or something. So where health's concerned, particularly mental health, go into your wee cocoon, burrow down, and let yourself heal, but while maybe doing meditations and looking to your inner self for answers. I think I did a video at one point of how to journey to meet your inner child, or one for the higher self. I'm not sure. I've done about 500 videos and I've lost track of what I've done, but if you look through the meditations playlist, you should find them there. Right, so health wise, I also kind of see some sort of grid or labyrinth on his face, so I say to people, watch out for ear infections, also because it is a kind of a grid on his face. I sometimes think this can bring out people that are allergic or can't be doing with electrical stuff round about them, that they get all sorts of allergies and problems with electromagnetic or electrical forces. I actually see that in that card as well, and you need to protect yourself. Now you could take this a step further and say we all need our wee aluminium bonnets on this week for all the conspiracy theories that might be out there, but take that as it is. Just protect yourself from too much internet, too many electrical things. Get out in the fresh air. This, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's beautiful just now. It's I wish I could walk and explore even round about me, because it's absolutely beautiful, but I can't walk. I just can't walk that far. So get out in nature, because the Hermit is never really pictured in a building block. He tends to be pictured out with like a cave behind him, or standing in a field, you know, with his lamp. So give yourself some peace and peace of mind health-wise in the week ahead. If we look at love, if you're looking for a partner, you might not want to look for a partner this week. And I don't mean that there won't be one there, but you'll just be feeling, oh, can't be bothered. I'm needing to be myself first and look after myself first. So you'll not really be looking for a partner. And you know that can be the time when one arrives. So just go your own way, look after yourself, and maybe do some self-improvement meditations, not for anyone else, but for you to be the best you that you can be. Be best. Anyway, I'm going to get myself in trouble with these cards at times, I know I will. Anyway, yeah, if you're in a long-term relationship, it might be time to isolate yourself as a couple or a family, and have that sort of Korean time for yourselves and the family. Again, you'll find with the Hermit card that a lot of problems come from out with your own little bundle of family in the week ahead. So just, you know, pull down the blinds, pretend you're not at home, and have your own couples or family time. Money, it's not really a monetary card as such, but again, it could be a time where you have to think deeply about your attitude to money. Some people get this card out when they have been quite prolific at making money and they've lived a life. I mean, anybody like myself that went through the 80s and can look back at themselves in their power suit and the sort of loads of money aspect, and, you know, wanting the SAB and everything like that. You know, we can look back and go, oh, for God's sake, you know, why? And there's younger folk that are maybe coming up with that same aspect of, you know, we don't need money to be happy, or money isn't what's going to make us happy. So, you know, from a monetary point of view, the Hermit can allow you to have a really good attitude about money, non-materialistic. The Hermit doesn't have anything apart from the clothes he's in, and he's happy because that, in a way, it's getting rid of the things that are cluttering him. So in a way, this is the most minimalistic money card you can have in the deck, because it's like, you know, I need to not have the clutter of things. I need to not have the clutter of different bank accounts, different this, different that, different credit cards. So he'll give a push against that in the week ahead, and that can only be a good thing. Now, spiritually, Hermit, good card to encourage you to pull back, to put up protective barriers, and to go deeply within for who you are, what your life work is meant to be. All the questions, in a way, have to start with the Hermit, because you don't get the answers from Spirit if you're in a crowd with mad stuff going on. You have to be able to listen and listen in silence, and the Hermit is the card that epitomises that spiritually. So that's good. But I've been at this a long time now, and I've had a lot of people that have used this card to their benefit in a slightly fraudulent way. And I'll tell you why. They've had a build-up of maybe stressful energy, and they really, really need some spiritual time to themselves. Yes, but also they need a time of quiet. They need to be away from stress. And it's not necessarily all about spirituality. It's about perceiving that they're getting stressed out, they're worn out, and they need their own space. And that's fine. Find the space in the week ahead to do that. What you don't need to do with this card is say, Spirit tells me I have to go to Timbuktu to study at this ashram, and I have to do this, and I have to get away, and you can all do what you like because I'm off. That's not the Hermit. If you use this card as a full escape from life, believe me, you dishonour this card's energy. And I've known a few people that have said, Spirit says, I need to go here. Spirit says, I really need to cut off from my family and go wander for 6 months. Aye, right. We see it. Now, I'm not saying this against anyone. I've seen it too often. And I've been in situations where I've felt, real stress and I've needed to get away. And I've maybe chosen a spiritual place to go. But when I've been there, I've realised all I needed was the quiet time. And maybe for the money that I spent in the quiet time, getting to the quiet time, getting into a place, whether it's a monastery or whatever, or a place of meditation, I could have been out in my own back garden in the quiet. If you're in the inner cities, you could have gone into your own room, closed the curtains and gone in to spiritual meditation. My husband did a very long retirement thing for 6 months. 6 months, day on day, meditation, a sense of finding himself and going so deep. Now, at the time, he wasn't married, he didn't have children round about him, etc. That was his time to do that. But he did it in his own home. And he didn't not do it because he couldn't afford a ticket to somewhere up the mountains or whatever. He did it because he needed to do it, and he found a place to do it. So spiritually, you can look at the pennies in your purse and say, I can't go to a yoga class, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I can't possibly find myself unless I go for that week's holiday on the coast and eat well and have all these things. Yes, these things are lovely, and I'm sure that we benefit from them. But believe me, if you cannot work on your problems in yourself, in your own space, wherever you go, you just take your own problems with you. And sometimes it's not about the place or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I've people that travel for devotions, to go to certain places in the world, to visit certain sacred sites, that doesn't come into this. That is more of a sacred quest as such. But look into your heart. Don't use spirituality as an escape from real existence, because that is false and it doesn't honour yourself. It doesn't honour your soul. If you're going to do it properly. Honour the Hermit card, even if that means doing a half-hour meditation in your bath. Do you see what I mean? Even if the hardest thing you can do for the next week is to set aside 20 minutes where you literally find your inner self. And if you were to do that every day for the week that we've got this card, you wouldn't need to escape to somewhere spiritual, because it's all in here. It's in your heart. It's you. You're your own temple. So you're everywhere you go, and that includes when you take your baggage as well. Anyway, you can tell I love the Hermit card because I've seen both sides of it. I've been on the retreats up north, done my sweat lodges, done my vision quests. I've done these things and they have been so helpful, but they were right and they were at the right time. They weren't forced. They just were. If something is really forced, it's really not it. Spirit flows. Spirit, if you feel spiritually you have to do something, believe me, Spirit will give you the tools to do it. They'll give you the money. They'll give you the lift, the car ride to wherever you're going to be. I have so many I've so many things that I've said, I want to go and hear this elder, I want to do this, but I've no money. But I'm gonna go there, and something's manifested to allow me to get there. Even if in a situation is, well, would you talk and would you do this, and then you can be along? Yes, of course. So let the Hermit guide you spiritually into your inner self, and remember that can be done wherever you can find quiet time. I've gone on and on. It's a good card. A lot of people will come out of the week that we go through with the Hermit dominating the influences, will come out with a renewed sense of authenticity and who they are. Now, if you like the way I read the tarot, my book, Tarot Novice to Pro in one book, is it's out in all Amazons and other online markets and stuff, maybe like, most of them. And have a good Hermit week. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about what you'll do this week to draw within yourself. It's the time of going within. It's the time of even the start of hibernation. And the time when we can gift ourselves time just to be. And that's one of the reasons I love where I live at the moment, because we tend to get cut off with snow quite a lot. The lanes are so narrow that when the snow comes, it fills them. And it's so funny because there's it's just like lanes of snow, and it's so funny. I absolutely adore it. But it means we're here, and I quite enjoy it. My girls panic, but I love it because there's nowhere to go. We can't go anywhere. The heating's on. We're sort of got food. We're fine. And it's like, okay, I'll be the hermit. So if you can find a wee bit of space and a wee bit of time to be the hermit for yourself this week, you would be working with the broader influences of this card. So have a good hermit time. Hopefully we'll come back renewed, and there'll be a lot more energy that spiritually we can focus on getting this world back. Not back to where it was or back to this, just back. Anyway, I love you. Oops. And I'll say many blessings, and I'll be doing a few more videos hopefully this week. Bye now.